Should basketball players be using sports drinks as a way to fuel their performance, whether it be in training or in games? In today's video, we're gonna outline 3 specific scenarios and help you determine if sports drinks are right for you. And the reality is, as always, my favorite answer, it depends. It depends on the context. What's the goal of the session? Is it a game? How long is the game? How intense is the game or the session? There's a number of different factors that go into it. But like I said in the intro, today we're gonna discuss 3 really specific scenarios. And these are the most common scenarios athletes find themselves in when it comes to training and games. So this will really help you determine, do I really need to be using Gatorade? Because at times it can be a very, very good tool to make sure you're fueled, making sure you're getting those carbohydrates in, electrolytes in, fluids in during an intense, longer session. But I see a lot of athletes and a lot of basketball players specifically misusing this, especially in situations where at the college level or the professional level, you have that Gatorade jug at the end of the bench or available in practice. So it's pretty much available to you at all times when you're on the court. So you really got to be able to distinguish when you should be using it versus when you should pass on it and just drink water. The first scenario is if it's a shorter session or a less intense session. So if the session is less than 45 minutes long, so if it's a light shoot around or just a light skill work session or even a light performance training session, and you're not really going super hard, it's a shorter session, just go with water. You don't really need to be fueling with excess carbohydrates in that situation because you're not going to be depleting your muscle glycogen. And the entire purpose of using a carbohydrate drink, whether it be Gatorade, Powerade, or a homemade one that you mix up yourself, is to refuel muscle glycogen and to stabilize your blood sugar levels. If you're not depleting glycogen, there really is not much of a point of refueling that. So if it's a shorter, less intense session, stick with water. Maybe add a pinch of salt in it if you need some electrolytes, or if you're in a hot environment or you're a salty sweater. Scenario number 2 is if it is kind of like in that in-between area. It's not super long, but it's not really a short session either. So anywhere between that 45-minute to 90-minute mark. And this is really going to depend on the intensity. If it's a really light session, like a team practice during your season where you're just walking through plays, there's no need to down a whole bottle of Gatorade. If it's a really intense skill work session, you're going 60 to 90 minutes, it may be enough to deplete glycogen to a point where refueling that might be helpful. In this situation, it really just depends on the intensity. If you're going super hard during that kind of medium length session or practice or game, sure, use Gatorade, use a carbohydrate drink, and that'll probably be beneficial. If it's really not intense, again, just pass on it, go with water. And before we get into that third and final scenario, if you're enjoying this video, definitely be sure you drop a like on it and subscribe for new videos just like this every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The final situation is if you have a longer game or a longer practice that is both long and intense. So if you're going beyond 90 minutes and it's an intense session or game, then yes, using Gatorade will be beneficial to help you refuel. And in the game situation, be mindful of how many minutes you're playing. If you're playing 5 minutes off the bench, you probably don't need to be down in a whole bottle of Gatorade. If you're getting 20, 30, 40 minutes in a game, then yes, use it to help you refuel and keep you in a good place to perform at your best later in the game. That's where it can be a very, very valuable tool. And then as a little bonus situation, another situation where Gatorade or any sort of sports drink could be beneficial is in a situation where you have 2 back-to-back games or back-to-back workouts or back-to-back practices, whatever the case may be, back-to-back sessions of some sort, and you have a very, very small time frame between sessions. A carbohydrate drink like Gatorade or any other sports drink can be beneficial to help you refuel without having to stomach solid food, which might not sit well with you depending on your individual preferences. So my question for you today is, what's your favorite flavor of Gatorade? Let me know in the comments down below. Really interested to hear what your opinions are on that, and hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you want some more information on what to eat exactly before your training session, I'll link a video on the screen right now, so definitely click on that. Let me know what you think. Drop a like on this video, subscribe for new videos several times a week, and I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next video.